does not agree with the terms you've set, with the law that you've set. But at least there is principle. And now the individuals know who are the enemies and who are the allies. It is in the gray area where the law is only selectively enforced that we are all made victims and exploited by our indecisiveness, by our ignorance, our inability to discern truth. Because we never know when the law might be enforced, and maybe the law doesn't really exist. And then the next thing you know, the ATF is knocking on your door, and your neighbors aren't doing anything to stop them, but your neighbors told you that they believed in the Second Amendment. What are you doing? They're taking me away. I guess I'd better pretend that I don't have the right to keep and bear arms. I lost my guns in a boating accident. That's what happens. Nothing bad, only good can possibly come from consistently and uniformly enforcing the law.
Can I just go back to the purposes of like what our founding fathers did, or what our fathers did, or what all generations of fathers do in all countries playing this global game strategy of, security, what you could say is domination. But the point is that, your father is supposed to educate you in the law, in love, in prosperity, in English, how to use weapons, how to learn and defend your Constitution, to take ownership and personal responsibility for the dilemma. George Bush can snicker and laugh when Trump says he's going to release who killed Kennedy, and that's the first thing my father texted me. I can't wait to find out who killed Kennedy, because for him in his life, he was born in 46, when he witnessed that was his 9/11 moment. From JFK to 9/11 to the COVID-19 ZAVs, these are connected events, and there is a deep-rooted conspiracy in this country, which is essentially there needs to be a light shined on these truths. And if Trump doesn't open up the floodgates of that truth, we will continue living in a mass deception, in my opinion.
I gotta disagree with the idea that we should rely in any way, shape, or form on Donald Trump to shine a light on anything. You act with the facts that you know and can verify. You can play with the speculative information as much as you like, but it will always be a bad policy to take important actions on it. You don't need anything. You don't need anyone to do anything for you to get involved in your community right now. To see how bad the situation is in your community right now. To see that while nationally it appears that we have a president who received a mandate from the majority of the public to consistently and uniformly enforce the law, nothing like that exists. Ask the most basic questions about immigration to your neighbors and find out how completely confused they are and how confounded and unable to act. And recognize something has to change locally first. You don't need Trump to shine a light on who killed Kennedy. Kennedy's dead. Kennedy can't help us now. What's much more important is that we understand the principles that we're going to stand on, and the first one is the consistent and uniform enforcement of law. That's what all civilization stands on.
The thing is, though, in terms of communication, the Marshall Rankin explanation of go local, knock on your door, I've tried to do that. Anyways, the point is YouTube and mass communication ends up being global. That doesn't matter if somebody in Pakistan finds out that you're trying to run as a Republican or a Democrat or whatever, or libertarian. You can do that, but the whole thing is, I think people have to realize is that the Federal Reserve, what they really do is mass communication hypnosis. And all of these agencies, the IRS, the Federal Reserve, the NSA, the CIA, they're all just communication organizations until somebody pulls a fucking trigger. And then it becomes something much, much more. It becomes much, much more real. The house is on fire at that point. So, I don't know, I just think that people are disconnected from the ledger, and the past 20 years has flushed us down the toilet beyond belief, and no one knows how bad this turd smells and how big the fuck. I don't know how deep that toilet bowl goes, but it's supposed to be the other way out. We're not supposed to be flushing down a toilet as a country. I don't know what Trump can do or what he's gonna do, but I think he needs to go thermonuclear.
No, it's not. We should not. Okay. Again, I'm about to wrap things up. Let's be clear. We are wasting. We will not. You will not come to a room with Diogenes Spooner, certainly, and hear any allowance for conversations about what we need political representatives to do. They work for you. It's what you need to do through them, fine. But you need to goddamn do it, motherfucker. I don't want to hear